Hello everyone and welcome back to Tartan Samurai Gaming. And today we're playing another Mega Drive classic. It's the Disney inspired Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. So this was a precursor to QuackShot, which we played last week with Donald Duck, and the two of them would later team up in World of Illusion, which is a game we'll cover at a later date. So, pretty simple plot summary here. Horrible witch shows up, kidnaps Minnie, and Mickey has to save the day. But to do so, he has to survive the Castle of Illusion, which is definitely not the Emerald City from Wizard of Oz, just so we're clear. Okay, we'll be playing on normal difficulty, because this is one of those games where you have to play on at least normal in order to clear the full story. So we've got to find 7 gems. Sounds familiar, if anybody saw my Sonic playthrough. So each of the levels here is kind of themed around a different sort of fairy tale aspect. So the first level is like an enchanted forest, and then the second level is like Toy Town, and you know, it's a cutesy game, but that kind of belies the fact that it's actually quite a tricky little platformer, especially in the later stages. So Mickey has 2 primary attacks. He can hit them butt first like he did there, or he can throw apples at them. But I find that jumping on enemies is a lot easier to pull off because you can chain attacks like so. If you time it right, it looks quite good. Best to just jump over those flowers, they are nasty and quite hard to hit. Unless you time it really well, like I just did there. So, again, first level, not that difficult, but you only have 5 energy points here, as you notice, whereas in QuackShot I think we had 10. So that alone makes the game a bit more difficult, even though the levels are shorter than QuackShot. And lots of pitfalls here to be wary of. I think there's an extra life down there somewhere, but I can't quite remember where, so let's not risk it. Ah, there it is. Memory playing tricks on me there. Giant apple. Let it just slide over your head. And then get through the exit before the next one comes down. And now into the spider's web. Again, it all, you know, the cutesy music and the appearances of everything kind of hides the fact that there's some pretty difficult jumping here. And these leaves will sometimes move out from under you, so you have to be careful for that too. Again, there's energy down there, but not worth the risk. We'll just head out of there. Oh, and that ominous music means that we're turning to darkness now. Oh, even the mushrooms have gone scary. Magic mushrooms, you might say. Oh, and you notice there was a bat, which was an asset also used in QuackShot. I think it was the same developers who produced both games. So if I remember correctly, Castle of Illusion came out first, so it's more a case of a Castle of Illusion asset being reused in QuackShot as opposed to the other way around. Character movement is quite similar as well, although Mickey is a little bit smaller than Donald, so that you have to be quite precise with your apples here. But these little bags give you refill, which is always handy. And there's the exit. And now on to the boss. So pretty simple, just avoid the log and dodge the acorns, and then hit the log when it's smiling at you. I think it's about 5 or 6 hits if I remember correctly, maybe more. The only difficult thing here is the acorns, because as you notice they are pretty random in their spread pattern. And there we go. Boss number 1 is down, and gem number 1 is ours. So we move on to level 2. And we get an extra life as well there by the sounds of it. Now on to level 2, which is the Toy Town level. There's a slightly confusing mechanic later on in this level where the level will flip upside down. So here, the exit's there but it's locked. So this is an almost entirely vertical level. We have to climb to the top and get the key. But of course, climbing up and having enemies jumping out at you at the same time is a little bit difficult to manage. Therein lies the challenge. That extra height that you got on Mickey's jump when you rebound off an enemy is very helpful. Until you realise you've gone the wrong way. Anyway, moving on. So we're just going to keep climbing here. Out for the jack-in-the-boxes. Oh, took the first bit of damage there. But there's an energy power-up to bring us back up to speed. Okay. We're getting towards the end of the level now. Well, the part where we get the key. Tell with those jack-in-the-boxes is if you look carefully you'll notice their head pops out slightly just before they spring out at you. So that gives you a chance to avoid. And there's the key. Now it's a slalom race back down to the bottom, collecting as many diamonds as you can along the way for points. And points equal extra lives, so that is an important issue. And in we go. On to the second part of Toyland. This is a more conventional left to right level with a bit of backtracking, and you have to use your items here. We had apples in level 1, in level 2 I believe it's marbles that we can throw. These springs aren't quite as reactive as the ones in something like Sonic the Hedgehog, for example, so you have to kind of get the timing for them. That's a design element taken straight out of Sonic by the looks of it, very reminiscent of the Spring Yard Zone and its sliding blocks. Now, little secret here, extra energy. Spring there strategically placed to cause maximum nuisance. Watch out for the jelly, don't get drawn into it. You will actually lose a life if you go down too far into the jelly. So when you fall into the jelly you have to hit the jump button rapidly to bring yourself out again. But this is where it gets a little bit frustrating while you're waiting for the platform to come down for you. but eventually you'll get there. And what those clowns on the unicycles will do is, if there are enemies directly behind you, the unicycle will take them out for you, so that's handy. And now on to the final part of Toyland. And we'll be seeing a lot more of those cycling clowns here. Now this is one of these upside down switches, but the bonus is it will take out any enemies that are on screen at the time you flip. So you can see how it can be used to your advantage if you're careful. Keep moving forward. Oh, watch out, a couple of planes there. Now, if I time this right, there we go. Maximum damage. And we're gonna have to use a couple of marbles here. See there with the clown's unicycles, removed the soldiers that were in our way. Now that gets us out of a very difficult situation there with 3 different clowns to contend with. Again, I'll let this soldier propel me to the top. And there's the exit. And now the boss. It's a giant jack-in-the-box monster that likes to spring around and punch. So he will basically spring 3 times, then fire out a load of these springs, and what you're supposed to do is bop him on the head, but I missed my target there. Like so. Okay, that's 2 hits. And again, like a lot of Mega Drive bosses, you notice he's starting to turn kind of pink and red the more damage he takes. Common trope of games of the time. I think it was Shinobi that started that, or maybe it was Golden Axe. No, it was Shinobi. Definitely Shinobi. Started that trend. So 3 jumps, then a punch. And he's out. And gem number 2 is ours. But we still have a long way to go to save Minnie. Well, maybe about another 40 minutes, we'll see. And we got another extra life. Excellent. Now the next stage I think is a kind of a stormy landscape. Yeah, quite good music on this level if I remember right. Quite impactful. This is a bit of a puzzle, this level, because you have to find the right pathway to get to the exit by traversing a series of waterfalls and underwater tunnels. And watch out for the skeleton fish that will jump out at you. So, see here there's a swimming section. And that brings us out to the exit. Easier than I remember. I think I just got lucky and guessed the correct tunnel there. But, bit of a learning curve to this level because this one has a few instant life-ending hazards to worry about. These bats tend to fly at you at just the wrong moments. And of course the waterfall kind of obscures the fish as well. Yeah. So when that water current comes down, make sure you're not standing underneath it because it will take you out in one hit. Music's getting more sinister as we go through here. So there'll be another one of those waterfalls in a moment. As a kid, I used to think that was cement, realising now it was just Mega Drive graphics being a bit primitive. Why exactly is that platform there? Doesn't seem to serve any purpose. I think some of these platforms here might have been assets that were later reused in QuackShot as well. Classic tricky Mega Drive platforming with the fatal hazard thrown in right before the exit just to annoy you. This is one of these levels where there's a water current and you have to try and get to the next section before the water rises too high. Because if that water hits you, it'll sweep you back to the start of the level. So the key here is patience and to try and not get too far in one go. But also be quick about it. Just gonna wait here. And I think we are approaching the end now. Oh, almost got caught there. And there's the exit. Excellent. And it's boss time again. And it's a giant totem pole that shoots out goblins. So what you do here is just let the little goblin bounce around, and once he settles on the ground, that's when you hit him. And try not to lose a life. Or to keep matters simpler, you can just hit him with a marble as soon as he lands. But that's probably more efficient. Yeah. Oh dear. I'm a bit rusty with this one, but don't worry, we'll get there. One, two, three. There we go. One down. Two down. Three down. Four down. And last one. There we go. Boss cleared. Now, what's next for us? Oh, this is the library now, where it's a kind of a Land of the Giants kind of thing. Anybody else remember that show? I wonder if they ever did make it home. I never saw beyond season 1. Now we're we're into the milk jar, which is a sort of a Candyland thing. Really is very creative, all the different sort of fairy tale aesthetics that they come up for with each level. You know, my only issue with this game is I wish there was a way for Mickey to run, because sometimes you have hazards like that which you wish you could just kind of run past. Nice bit of atmospheric play there. The music is getting progressively faster as we move on. There's a very similar level in World of Illusion, which came out a few years later and was, to be quite honest, much better done. That whole game is just absolutely beautiful to look at, even now. Definitely one of the Mega Drive's best games graphically, World of Illusion. Even though you can beat it in about half an hour, it's a beautiful game to look at. And we got another gem. And now onto the study room, or the library as I was calling it, but yeah. So, watch out for the bookworms. There's a really nice aesthetic going on here with all these different things. It all just kind of comes together really nicely to make a really easy on the eye level, even though it's using quite basic graphics. The trick here is to duck down, wait for the angry books to move away, and then slip across. I actually find this level a lot easier than level 3, but I guess that's a matter of personal opinion maybe, but into the teacup. Watch out for the sugar cubes. And we're clear. I think that also becomes an impromptu checkpoint in case we don't get through the whole level unscathed. Having to repeat this jump again is a little bit annoying, but I think, considering I only had one bar of power left, I think it was the right choice to grab that star there. Oh, Mickey, what are you like? This could take a while, bear with me. There we go. I forgot that some of the enemies in this game do respawn. So we'll just let that apple run down there and we'll keep going forward. Those little alphabet letters have a hitbox which allows them to avoid the projectiles. Not helpful. Oh, and we're down to another section now. So, again, use Mickey's jumping abilities to your advantage. Actually sure where I'm supposed to go here, because we appear to be boxed in. Right, we'll go back to where that apple was. That will maybe help us. Let the apple drop in the teacup and then we'll go in after it. Would be nice if there was some energy here. Well, I guess not. Anyway, moving on. Into another milk bottle. And this is the boss. Remember Peach Dragon? Yeah, all kinds of Disney inspirations and influences in this game. If you time it right, you can hit the dragon as he pops up like that, yeah. But it's easier just to jump on his head. Shouldn't be too long now. Oh. Timing, timing, timing. Oh dear. Kind of messed that one up. Right, there's one hit. Two. Missed him. Yeah, I forgot these apples also have a range limit, so be aware of your positioning. Oh, come on, that wasn't very fair. 4. Ah, how's that for reactions? That doesn't seem very fair. Thought I hit him right on the nose there. Oh dear. Right. Running short on apples here as well, so need to be careful. That's one hit. 2. When he shoots across like that, just get out the way. It's not worth trying to get a hit in. It's too risky. Oh dear. Apologies, I seem to have kind of lost it a bit here, but we'll get the thread back. Just give us time. Right, there's one hit. 2. Okay. And 3. 4. That's handy. 5. 6. I think one more will do it. Or maybe it's 8 this time. We are moving up the levels after all, so I guess, so they do have to make it a bit harder. There we go. And we got an extra life there as well, I think. And with the study room cleared, we move up to the next tier. And this one is the last door. Oh. This is quite a tricky level of like, again, using a lot of the same assets as QuackShot here. This is very reminiscent of the Transylvanian castle. And this time you're throwing candles at the bad guys. Watch out for these knights in the background because they will just drop their flags on you and it will cause damage if you're not careful. They don't all do it, but you're not quite sure which ones will and which ones won't, so it's best just to avoid them all. Those knights cannot be hit front on because of their shields. Again, kind of similar to the one of the Viking bosses in QuackShot. So what you have to do is just either get behind them or make sure you just bop him on the head. And definitely a later level music track we're getting here. It's all getting a bit sinister. Ah, now for this one, you have to use Mickey's bounce attack to take you over the wall. So what we're going to do is just take him out, go back over here, and then this knight will hopefully reset. Yes. And now if we can just lure him towards the wall, we can use him as a springboard. Or possibly just as mace. Ah, not quite. Ah, no, not quite. Okay, hang on. I think we need to be right under the wall when we do that. So we'll take the first one out. And let the second one follow us. And I think we can duck underneath that attack. Maybe. Ah, still not quite there. Okay. Being a tricky customer, this one. Has he reset? Yes, he has. Good. So again, the cutesy aesthetic kind of hides the fact that there are some difficult little puzzles to this game that have to be solved. There we go. And we get some extra energy for our trouble. We've been here already. Sorry, apologies. I got kind of caught up in that, that puzzle there. Right. So we have to drop down here. This isn't the way either. Okay. Don't worry, we'll figure it out. It'll just take a little while. As I've said before, if you want games done fast or games done efficiently, I'm not your man. If you want to just sit here and have a laugh and remember some good games from childhood, that's what we're about. Again, using Mickey's bounce abilities there to your advantage. Watch out for the big ball. Luckily managed to get a hit in below his shield there. Oh dear. Yeah, water hazards are a thing in this game. But now that I know the route, it shouldn't be... Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, come on Mickey, get your act together here. Oh dear. Right. Let's just take a deep breath and keep going. More clumsiness. This time around, the boxes will kind of drop randomly, so not really randomly, but just out of sequence, with the intention of clobbering you as you walk under them, so just be aware of that. And we're clear. Oops. Watch out for the big nasty ball. Over that. I think I was wrong earlier on when I said that the shields block projectiles. Apparently they don't. Right, I think we'll just forego that star for the sake of getting clear. Let this thing go over us, and then onward and up. Probably do some extra energy at this point. I mean, diamonds are nice, but stars would be better. Now what am I supposed to do? Okay, I guess I have to go down here and let these reset. Right, he's now reset so I can get back up there. Right. So these platforms fall away as you... Oh dear. Right. Okay, now I see what we're doing. Alright. So, over here. And back around. Now, before I take the platforms, let's take out the bad guys. There. Now, this should be easier this time around. There we go. Watch out for these little embryo things or whatever they are. Bubbles of some kind. Yeah, watch out for the sudden drop there. There's definitely a very steep difficulty spike as you get into this this 5th level. Obviously, this was one of these games that came out at a time when, you know, the likes of Blockbuster had just started renting out games, and they didn't want you clearing them in 10 minutes. So, so I need one more gem. It's a dreaded underwater level. If you've seen my Sonic playthrough, you know what I'll think of these. I don't like them. I just find the floatiness of the controls to be quite frustrating. It's the same when I played Mario, actually. I really didn't like the underwater levels there either. Or Alex Kidd was another one that had quite difficult underwater sections. And of course, don't get me started on the Nintendo version of Turtles. Famously has one of the most infuriating underwater sections in video game history. Yeah, there are bonuses to be had there, but I'd rather just get through the level. This is the part of the game that reminds me the most of Sonic the Hedgehog. There's a kind of a mix of elements of Marble Zone and maybe sort of Scrap Brain Zone in this sort of these sort of a steampunk cog designs. It's a nice aesthetic. I like it. So the key here is timing. See, it would have been funny if I'd been clobbered there just after saying that the key is all about timing, you know, but well. Okay, energy power-ups. Definitely welcome at this point. Ah, managed to avoid the bats. Lovely. Unfortunately, I think this isn't the route we need to go. We need to go back. Yeah, handy tip, if you find yourself falling off a ledge like that, hold the down button so that Mickey will angle his posterior towards any enemies that might be underneath you. Angle his posterior. I'm doing quite good here to avoid using any words that might get me in trouble, aren't I? Oh yes, that'll do it. Yeah, we were gonna take damage eventually there. The luck had to run out somewhere. But that's okay. Now we just wanna get through here. Ah! Don't like these. Whoa, just cleared that. See, these different rotating cogs are just there to kind of unsettle you. And it's another boss, and this one, you have to, if I remember right, yeah, you can't jump on him, you have to just hit him in the head. But occasionally, he'll take a swipe at you. Yeah, he'll do that little smile, and then swipe, and when he swipes, that's when you move. So bait him into the smile, and then hit him on the head. Very red-faced. You need your blood pressure medicine, mate. This is one of these bosses that I wasted an inordinate amount of lives on when I was playing this as a kid, because I didn't know that you had to try and bait him into the attacks. So, continue. I'm not sure where we have to restart here. Oh good, we're just on the boss. I was worried I might have to redo the whole level there for a minute. One hit. 2. 3. Oh dear, that was a bit obnoxious. 2 arbitrary hits there. Game was being a bit unfair there, I think. If possible, you want to try and keep close to him so he can't jump, because when he jumps, that's when he gets unpredictable. On this thing is a bit off. Again, it's that last level difficulty curve you have to contend with. Yep. That'll do. Oh, almost missed that one there. Yes, he's down and we have the last gem. But we still have one more battle to deal with. Miserabelle the Witch. So with that level cleared, we have cleared the main castle, but we now have to go over to the witch's hideout for the final battle. This is the last boss. What you have to do is try and avoid her attacks, but she will spawn in a different location each time, so the trick is trying to get across to her before she has the chance to vanish. Oh dear, mistimed that one. Too far away and you won't get there in time, so don't even try. Okay, wait for her to dematerialise. Jump up. Yeah, that was never quite going to work. Okay, last continue. Gotta get this right. Ah, I just missed it. This is actually the easiest one to hit when she spawns right down there, because then you can just bop her on the head. But unfortunately I mistimed that and I took damage. Yes! That's 2 hits. Get right out of the way for this one, don't even try and hit her. Oh, come on. These platforms are very slidey as well, which doesn't help. Not quite. Okay, that's another hit. You can see there's a pattern to this, and it's just about getting to grips with that pattern. Nah, I'm not going to get there in time. It's another game, of course, with that whole save the girlfriend trope that was so popular in the early Sega Mega Drive games. And we've done it! The witch has been defeated and magically cured. So, as a thank you for defeating her, the witch is going to give us a ride home. How nice is that? And our hero and his lady are safely home. And Mickey's happy. He got a kiss, so he's happy. Good for him. And that concludes Castle of Illusion. So, thank you everybody for watching, and I would encourage you to also check out our QuackShot video if you enjoyed this one, because same design team, very similar game, and plenty of other games to check out on Tartan Samurai Gaming. So please stick with us, and I will see you next time.